Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another round of One Piece. We're going to be playing Nefertari Vivi going against Nami. Ooh, that's not particularly good. I don't have any of my combo pieces. We're going to mulligan that. Okay, well, at least we get this. Alrighty, they find the girl, young girl. It just lets them put Arrested Dawn underneath their leader. Very good promo card. Attack 7 in. Next turn will be this into this. What are we going to give up for counter? Like just, yeah, we'll just give up our brick. Or our vanilla, I should say. We just don't want to give them too many options too early. Just want some cards out of your hand. It's not a big ask. This will be a discard when we block with this, I think. Good, with their hand nice and low. We like that. There's the Nami. Oh, they get them out of us. We're going to be at 7 next turn. We will have some Dawn left. Give up the Kaido. Like the ability to pop their whole board. That's even better. Alright, so that's 5. I want to leave up 1 so I can actually use the event. Should probably have attacked 5 first. I guess it doesn't matter because they blocked. Need a card out of that hand of yours. That was a misplay though. Should have gone 5 in first and then 7. We do find the Ben Beckman, which will be good against this. I'm at 7. I'm going to be at 9 next turn. This is going to the bottom. Don't want to give up a 2K. I like these two. I give up both of those. So we got a +3 event, which is not bad. They do like attacking us for 7. Red Rock. How rude. They got rid of our Nami. It's not the worst, though, because I'm so far ahead of them on board. They won't develop anything this turn. I'll be able to trash this, too. And they're only going to go 7, which is perfect for us. We're going to give up a Shanks here. You don't need that. We are going to poke 7 at him, or do we want to go 7, 8? What's our options here? We want to pressure a little bit. Let's just start with 7 at them. See what they do. And if I put 2 Dawn here, that's my 8 anyways. Oh, they don't even do anything, so it's 2 cards either way. You get 2K as well. Yep, we like getting your 2Ks out of your hand. You're getting low. This will be good for whatever they do next turn. Unless they don't develop anything next turn, I'm going to do this to them next turn. Marco. That doesn't do me any good because it has a non-KO effect anyways. They're only going to get up to 6 if I do that. It's fine. Since we got a second one, I think I am just going to play it. Let them get up the cards. We'll putting them if they decide to get too large. Six again. I'm getting cards out of you. Go ahead. These Vivis are just brutal. Oh, look, another red rock. Man, your hand. Is that all your red rocks? I've seen 3. 3 red rocks. You could load up all 15 of your on. It's going into one of my blockers. You're at 7? This is pretty darn good, too. I'll deploy this. We're just going to get some cards. 6 in again. $12. Go ahead. We're in a nice spot here. Yeah, I think you lost, guy. I'm just going to go -2 to probably give this an ability. Actually, what do I want to do there? Well, let's give that up for sure. I don't need a brick. Okay, I can go... With leader effect, I can go -2 to this and KO it with the Shanks. But I won't be able to give the Shanks rush. So what we're going to do instead is just do this. Enjoy that. Yeah, gotcha. I probably wouldn't have been able to kill him that turn. I was really just going to go like 7 and like 9. Actually, I could have gone 7, 10, and 12. What did they have left? Put him into 2K counter. The 7 would have been enough. Oh, man. That's really unfortunate for you, guy. Pudding is just kind of a broken card. It's so silly that blue decks, which are the ones that accumulate the most cards in hand, also have the card that fights against card decks that have too many cards in hand. I think this should be any color but blue, but that's just my personal opinion. But we did quite well there, just floating them into a bunch of bricks they couldn't get out of. That's what you got, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look, there's another Beckman and a nice 2K. They can't seem to deal with our removal. This deck. They were removing our guys with Red Rock, but because it was Red Rock, they couldn't develop anything. Let me know what you guys think. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Is this a good matchup for us? I'm so curious. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. My lizard brain likes large numbers, so I always appreciate when you do. But I think that's all I got. So as always, good games and good luck. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another round of One Piece. We're going to be playing Nefertari Vivi. We're going to keep, I think. They chose to go second, puts us on 1. It's not going to be the best because we're not going to even be able to attack. But it's worth it because we got this. I just need to find the Nami that minuses stuff so that I can subtract their board and get them into range of my Ben Beckman. Although most of the time what happens in this matchup is they play the new Nico Robin card that on KO does a damage. So we have to usually use our leader ability to get it down to from 8 to 6 and then use our Ben Beckman. But we'll see. We are playing against Nami from OP11, in case you don't know. You can activate once per turn. You may activate this effect when a life card leaves the life area. Draw 1 card. They just stack it on and pass. That's fine. Because I'm not going to even attack you this turn. I'm looking for things. I'm looking for specifically that. Wow, look at all those 2Ks. What do you value more? Keeping me from card advantage or giving yourself some card advantage? No, you can have it. It's tempting as it was. I see. You don't have a Dawn. Can you give me 2 and a 1? Same thing. They say nope. Okay, they're on 6. What do you play on 6? You gonna play Nico Robin's 6-cost burn? Then you still won't have a card on your leader, and that could get dangerous for you, because I would like to do this next turn. This is an on-KO effect as well. I don't have a good 2K to give him, unfortunately, so we're going to let that through. They'll get a card. Oh, they played the Nami. Wow. Ouch. Maybe a 7 next turn, so I won't be able to play this at all. I think we remove this next turn. Did find 2 of the Ben Beckmans, though. We like that. Because now I can start dealing with their mid-board. Unfortunately, our hand's getting heavy. We'll just remove that. It's like a free card for you. I just don't want you to have any bodies. This is getting discarded for counter next turn, I think. There you go. Please don't pudding me. I don't deserve it. 8. What did they play for 8? I don't know. It's weird that they chose to go second. I've seen them mostly on the odd curve, but I don't know. Okay. Stacking their life a little bit. Drawing a card. Another Kikanojo. Okay. Reveals and draws a Nojiko. We don't like those at all. We don't even have to do anything special here. We'll just go 2K. Suppose I should have blocked and given him a 1, but that's fine. Okay, we're at 9 here. You don't ever need to have those again. Do we play this? Probably. Just looking for 2Ks mostly. Let's get that back. Yeah, something like that. And then we just start attacking. 7s. 3 7s. You're gonna get low fast. You should take some of these, though. Another Nojiko. Or Kikanojo? Jeez. Okay, they make it to 10 first, so what are they gonna play? Just an immediate burn card. We don't like those. Quit it. We've got a +3. Log, we'll go. There you go. These games against Nami always tend to go long, so we're just gonna do that because I almost value these more. We're popping that next turn. Gonna probably kill this too. You just don't ever need pressure on your board. In case you were wondering, you don't need pressure. You gonna get out of one of these? Because this is coming next. You don't want to go down to 1. If they get a body, I could just die, but they don't know what this is. And they don't actually have a ton of trigger bodies outside of exactly Kikanojo, which we've seen a ton of. I think they still have a Nojiko in hand. They did give us one earlier. Yeah, they're just gonna heal. That's fine. Can't KO that because it just does damage to me, which is annoying. If I don't kill them this turn, I'm in severe danger next turn. Because the Kikanojo can bounce one of my guys. I have 1 life and 1 blocker. I'd have to do double blocker. Since we're not playing this, just because I did that. So we're going to save 5 here. We'll save 6, give me 2 more. Yeah, both of those can go. Okay, we kept 1 Dawn up in case we found a event there. It's gonna be close. Nojiko bounce. Yep. Another Kuma. Come on, man. Well, that's not gonna ever happen. I can block, or I can just use the leader effect on the other one. Don't even need to do that much. Okay, you just die now. As fun as it would be to just give you things, you just don't have jack all. You are hoping for just the bestest trigger of all time. 8. Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna load up and go like 12, 13 at you. GG, my man. Alright, we're playing pretty high and tight. Every time I go against Nami, I feel like I'm in pretty good control of the game. But it always feels like I don't have enough blockers at the end because they just burn our life so fast, so I don't know. But I will say, the card you need in this matchup is exactly Ben Beckman. If you do not find Ben Beckman, this game gets much harder, so you're looking for your draw cards, like Nami and Cavendish. You need to find the Ben Beckman so you can trash out all these cards that are trying to heal them. You need to trash those, and you need to trash... It's nice if you can trash these, but not 100% necessary. I thought they had a... nope. Didn't even see the Nico Robin this... Or no, it's on field. The Nico Robin also needs to get trashed, so you usually have to use leader ability and trash it out unless you can get 2 of these on field, in which case that... You're so far ahead if you get 2 of these on field to deal with this. But being able to get that trash effect to avoid all their on KOs, just super good. It's worth not getting the rush attack. You want these bodies off the field. You develop a 7k for next turn. Yes, your leader ability doesn't get to proc. It's fine. You just want to trash these. All right. Let me know, what do you guys think I did right? What did I do wrong? Is this a good matchup? Is Nami worth running in the Heroines Cup, or is Vivi just the answer? I can't wait to find out. Like, comment, and subscribe down below just so I know what you guys think. I think that's all I got for you, though. So, as always, good games and good luck. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is the deck list for Nefertari Vivi. It's an EBO 3 leader, 5,000 attack, and it's got a once per turn ability. If your character with a base cost of 4 or more would be KO'd, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. That does include by battle. It's got an activate main. You may rest as leader, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. Then up to 1 of your characters without a when attacking effect gains rush during the turn. There's only 1 when attacking effect in the deck. So we're basically just trying to give everything rush. We've got 4 copies of Nefertari Vivi. It's a 1-cost 2k, 1k counter searcher. It looks at the top 4 and tries to find an Alabaster or Straw Hat crew with a cost of 2 or more. And then, of course, we've got Heroine, which is a 2-cost 3k searcher. You may rest this character, give your active leader minus 5,000 power for the turn. Look at the top 5 for an Alabaster Kingdom type card. So it's a continual searcher that's going to eat an attack as a pseudo blocker, which is really nice. And I've found that in this format, it doesn't actually matter that much if you don't attack on your first turn, because a lot of the decks you kind of want to starve anyways. I'm thinking of stuff like Boa Hancock, Nami, those kinds of decks. It's fine if you just don't go swinging at them, but it really helps to have these on lock for later, because so many decks want to try and punch into you early when you don't have any blockers. They end up ignoring this card when they shouldn't. And then we've got 2 Koza, which is a 3-cost 3k 2,000 counter. It's got a when attacking effect, and you can give your active leader minus 5,000 power during this turn. This character has plus 2,000 power until your next turn. It's just a good 2k. It'll be replaced by anything else that's got the Alabaster Kingdom type 2k or Straw Hat 2k in the future when it gets rotated out. But for now, it's fine. And then we've got 4 copies of Tony Chopper, which is a 4-cost 4k 2k counter. And it's got blocker, and on our opponent's turn, it gains plus 2,000 power. It's just a really good 2k, because it can be used as a blocker, and it can be cheated out with so many different things. So it's really useful. And then, of course, we've got Nami, one of the new EBO 3 cards, a 5-cost 7k no counter. On play, you may give your active leader minus 5,000 power during this turn and draw a card. Then activate main once per turn if your leader has the Alabaster type, which ours does. Give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. That's a really good effect. And then we've got a 5-cost 6k 2k counter in Nefertari Cobra. Just a good 2k, nice and searchable for us. And then of course we have got Ben Beckman, a 7-cost 7,000 power 1,000 counter on play trash up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. He's just really solid for getting out all those pesky on KO effects. Any of Boa's characters, being able to trash them rather than KO them is really good. Any of the new yellow cards, like the new Nami that has an on KO effect that lets them play stuff out. The new Robin card that does a damage when it's KO'd. Being able to minus it down with something like this or leader ability and then play this. You don't have to use your leader ability. You can do it. You can rest your leader and give minus 2,000 power to something and not give anything a rush and still use the Ben Beckman and trash out stuff that has 8,000 power using just your leader ability, or 9 if you've got a Nami on board already. A lot of times it's worth doing to get this trash effect rather than getting it rush. It is really important that you guys know that. Then we've got our big boy in Shanks, a 10-cost 12k attacker. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 10,000 power or less. It can remove big bodies, but sometimes we might have to either have 2 of Nami's on field or use leader ability and then play it out and not give it rush. Sometimes that is worth doing if you need to remove a big body, like say an Edward Newgate or the new Luffy blocker that's being run in the new starter deck Luffy, or the new Jewelry Bonnie is running it. That's giving their leader plus 2k. Sometimes it's nice to just trash out that or KO that leader. Not the leader. KO the large blockers. And then of course we've got Roger, just a 10-cost 13k no counter rush unit that when either you or your opponent have 0 life, they cannot activate blocker. You just win the game. And then for the blue cards, I slotted in 2 copies of Pudding because Pudding goes in pretty much any deck that it can go in, because being able to rip apart your opponent's hand is just good. 4-cost 4k 1k counter. On play, your opponent returns their hand cards to their deck, shuffles their deck, and then they draw 5 cards. In the end game, it is worth just playing this, even if they have 5 cards, because they probably curated those 5 cards. And if you can make them draw 5 random cards, they don't get to keep their counter events. They get a random chance of maybe getting 1 back. So it's just good enough. And then our only when attacking effect in the deck is a 4-cost 6k no counter brick in Cavendish. When attacking, once per turn, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. This deck really likes to filter, so being able to keep this on board for multiple turns is just really good. It is the best 4-cost 4-Dawn play the deck has. You want to go second with this deck, you want to play Eagerom on turn 1, and you want to play Cavendish on turn 2. And then, of course, going into our next card, this is what you want to play on turn 3. A 5-cost 4k 1,000 counter blocker. On play, play up to 1 Alabaster or Straw Hat Crew type character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. Then you cannot play any character cards on your field during this turn. This is a really good card, and it makes the whole deck tick. You need to find this. You want to use this to play either the Nami is a good priority if you want to play an attacker, because it'll draw you the card, and it puts up 2 bodies, both a blocker and an attacker, and you're going to give this rush. And then if you want to play more defense, you can play this into this and give yourself 2 blockers and filter some cards. If your leader's multicolored, which ours is, a 5-cost 6k 1k counter blocker, you get to draw 3 and place 2 cards from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck. So if you find cards you really want, you just can't use them this turn, you want to use them next turn, just put them back on the top. But this is a really important part, is being able to find this Nefertari Vivi and go into either of these. You can go into the Chopper if you're in a tight spot, if you just need the blocker and you don't have the Nami. But this is just a really solid component of this deck. And then some flexible top end is a 10 cost 12k Kaido. On play, if your opponent has 3 or less life cards, draw 4 cards. It's a really good effect. You just got to remember to make sure your opponent has 3 or less life, but just being able to draw 4 and give yourself a 12k rush body is just really solid in the deck. And then we've got a 1-cost event in But If We Ever See Each Other Again, Will You Call Me Your Shipmate? It's a counter. It gives Vivi plus 4k, or one of our characters plus 4k. It's a really good event, but we're only running 3 events, and I'll get to that in just a second. This is a 1-cost event in Phoenix Pineapple. Main, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, place up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. Counter up to one of your leaders gains plus 3,000 power during this battle. It's a pretty good event just for getting rid of chump blockers, and it's an okay counter. Here's the problem. As soon as this deck gets up to 10 Dawn, you don't ever get to play events again, because all you want to be doing is slamming your 10-cost bodies. You want to be playing Shanks every turn, you want to be playing Kaido every turn, or you want to be playing Roger. Those cards are going to take up all 10 of your Dawn every single turn. If you're not doing that, you haven't set yourself up very well. So more likely than not, you're not going to have the counter to use these events. So if you want to have these as really good counter, they're going to get played on somewhere between your 6 Dawn turn and your 9 Dawn turn. Any of those 2 turns, that's your window. If you don't play them on that turn, they're going to get trashed for your leader effect to protect one of your guys, or they're going to get shuffled away. You just don't want to use them. You're going to trash them out with stuff like the Cavendish, or bottomed with the Nami. So just be aware that if you're running a fair amount of events, you're just not going to be able to use them a lot after you get to the top end of your game, unless you're playing something like a Nefertari Vivi, because you're being pressured really hard and you need some extra blockers. Then you might get a chance, but most of the time it's just going to be these 10 costs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is Nefertari Vivi. Let me know what you guys think. It's a really good leader. I don't know where she slots in the Heroine's battle ranking, but I like her a lot. I think she's going to be toward the top, but I don't know if she's going to be able to compete with things like Jewelry Bonnie, or she's doing real well into Boa, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I think that's all I got. So as always, good games and good luck.